Keep the momentum. Introverts, raise your hand. All right, now slap yourself with it. Whatever that thing is, punch it right in the face. What I am telling you is that there's a way for you, that 30 to 40-year-old married man or woman with kids to reduce that stress of anxiety that comes with financially providing your family. Look, guys, if you've listened to anything from me in the last, it doesn't really matter, any length of time, I've talked about how I have an introvert personality. I want to be the guy, if it's in a room full of people I don't know, I'm going to be the guy in the corner hoping nobody talks to me, right? I've taken personality test after personality test. It points toward me having an introvert personality. But there's something I realized in this journey of becoming a full-time entrepreneur over the last 7 to 8 months, all right? That all of that is complete bullshit. And I'm going to call myself out on it, right? I'm going to call myself on that bullshit I've been feeding myself for at least a decade, right? At least a decade, probably well over that. It's been a little over 8 months since I exited the W-2 world. It has been amazing. It's been scary. At times I find myself questioning, hey, what in the heck are you doing? Then self-doubt comes into play, right? I'm sharing this with you so that you understand how human I am, but I'm also telling you this to encourage you to get out of that self-doubt, to get out of that introverted, whatever the case is, whatever this fear that you have of getting involved in real estate or getting involved in your next deal, get rid of it as quickly as possible. For some of you, it's going to be more difficult, right, than others because you don't have the correct support system in place. And that has been my focus here recently in the last 6 months is making sure I have the correct support system in place. And I'm not talking about my very loving and supporting family who are through those doors, but I'm talking about people outside who can look at things from an unbiased opinion and tell you if you're on the right path or not, right? You guys know I've been focusing on this journey, this journey of life, this new thing that we're getting into as being a full-time entrepreneur and whatnot. And one thing I realized over the last 8 months is that I've been hiding behind that excuse of being an introvert for far too long. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I use it as an excuse to not go and do certain things, right? In the last 7 or 8 months, I've really pushed myself. My accountability team has pushed me as well to get out of that comfort zone, right? And I really started to see those seeds that were planted 6 and 7 months ago to really start to produce, right? And it all comes from realizing my fear and doing as author John Acuff says, punch that fear in the face, right? Now that I'm not in the W-2 world and indoctrinated to be at a certain place at a certain time, stay at a desk for a certain amount of time, and then work home with me when I should be spending that time with my family, I've really been able to, spread my wings, right? And let myself go and do crazy stuff like what I would consider crazy is the intro to this video, yelling, keep the momentum, when my wife is trying to put the kids up to bed. I think I heard her come downstairs to check on me, make sure I was okay. But what I'm trying to tell you is that I have recognized that being labeled as an introvert is my fear. And anytime a situation comes up and I see this fear happening, these red flares start going off. I start triggering. And what I used to do is I would shrink down. Like, all right, it's telling me to, my croc brain's kicking in and I just need to survive. Because as an introvert, you know that if you have to get up on stage or you have to get in front of a crowd of people, your croc brain's going to kick in and you're like, man, just put me in the corner, hope nobody talks to me, and I really want this event to be over with so I can go home and do whatever I need to do, right? What I've realized is when those flares go off, that is the situation where I need to turn and run toward them instead of away from them, right? And that's what the message I'm trying to convey to you is that it doesn't matter if you're an introvert, if that's your fear of being around people you don't know, a big crowd of people, being on stage, publicly speaking. It doesn't matter what your fear is. It could be, man, I'm going to lose money on this first deal because I have absolutely no idea what I'm trying to accomplish here in real estate investing. I'm here to tell you that is all bullshit. The real problem here, you're introverted, the real problem you have not gone and done more in real estate investing is because you don't have the right support system in place, right? And that's what I'm talking about. People, the people and the structure. Guys, I really can't express this new freedom of really spreading my wings around, right? Letting myself go, doing all crazy stuff. And then come back and look, all right, that wasn't so crazy. That wasn't so weird after, or maybe it was weird, but it wasn't so earth shattering after all, right? I've found this new voice of confidence, and it's because I looked at my fear and I said, no way, I'm not allowing you to hold me down, right? I'm not saying I'm perfect yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to find the edges of where I want to be and then pull it back in a little bit. What I'm telling you is I've never felt this sort of freedom, and I'm not talking about just freedom from working for somebody else and having, all this time freedom. What I'm talking about is the freedom from that fear that was holding me in, right? To accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. I'm telling you the same thing I keep telling myself. You're going to be able to accomplish so much more when you get past whatever it is that's holding you back, right? First thing we got to do is figure out what it is that's holding you back, label it, put a package on it, and then kick it in the butt and get it out of there, right? So here's what I want to do. I want to encourage you the next time you find yourself in a situation where fear starts to rise up, you start to find that self-doubt, right? You find yourself in a situation where you just want to shrink up and hope nobody looks at you, or you hope the teacher doesn't call on you, right? When you start placing that self-doubt in your thoughts, guess what? You're in the right place. So that's the challenge, is when those things start happening, I want you to realize that you are in the right place. This is where growth is happening. This is an exciting time, right? Most people look at it as, oh man, I don't want to do this. They get nervous and they back out, whatever. It happens to most people, happened to me for a long time, right? I missed out on so many opportunities because I wasn't willing to label my introvertedness and then kick it to the curb, right? So when that self-doubt starts to bubble up, when that fear starts to bubble up, start recognizing, hey, that means you're in the right place. Now let's muster up the courage to go and do something about it, right? I recently had a mentor of mine say that our fears will lead us to our success. No truer statement have I heard. It's just amazing to see where I've been able to come to break through my fear of introvertedness, right? By just staring it in the face, recognizing when those flares go off and going right after. A couple of weeks ago, I was listening to this podcast about life without regrets. Kind of what triggered me to come and deliver this message. I was listening to the Real AF podcast with the guest host, Sal Frisello, Andy's brother, right? And he was talking about living life with no regrets. And quite frankly, I started thinking about how much time I have wasted living somebody else's dream and not doing what I wanted to do for me and my family. So because I was labeling it as, well, I'm an introvert. Introverts don't do this, right? And guess what? Everybody who I had around me, not so many direct terms, but in a very indirect way, they were using me to be able to accomplish their goals, right? So guys, I can't express the amount of freedom or the amount of joy or the amount of also frustration, right, that comes with being an entrepreneur. But if you're on the edge of taking that leap, or if you're on the edge of taking whatever the leap is to get past your fear, I want to ask you, what's really holding you back? What is it, right? I almost can guarantee you that it's not that big of a deal. Whatever that thing is, punch it right in the face, right? I don't want you to be like me 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road, and have these regrets. And you hear this all the time, right? That life is too freaking short. To be clear, I'm not suggesting you go out and quit your job, right? Some of you have amazing jobs, and no matter what, no matter how amazing your job is, there's always that thought sitting in the back of your head. What's going to happen if I get fired tomorrow, right? Or what happens if I get laid off? So I'm not telling you to go quit your job. What I am telling you is that there's a way for you, that 30 to 40-year-old married man or woman with kids, to reduce that stress of anxiety that comes with financially providing your family. And it is through real estate investing. You just have to get over the hump of whatever that fear is holding you back to make it happen, right? You have to make it happen. It is nobody else's responsibility but you, right? Now, I want you to find the courage to get in this game, right? It has done tremendous things for me and my wife and my family and our kids, right? All I'm asking you to do, it's a simple step. It's probably the simplest step you're going to find, is send me an email, jay@w2capitalist.com. That's actually not all I'm going to ask you to do. Email me one word, the word momentum, right? And what I'll do is I'll send you a link to my calendar so that you and I can get on a call together to put you on the path of defeating your fears, right? And eliminating that stress and anxiety. By the way, if your heart is beating tremendously loud right now, if you've listened to any of this and you're like, holy crap, he is talking to me. Are you asking yourself, did he make this podcast episode or this YouTube video for me? Then absolutely, yes, I am. I made it for you, right? And I want to tell you, it is absolutely 100% okay to be scared, because when you're scared, this means you are in the right place. Now, all you have to do is muster up that courage. Send me an email with one word: momentum, right? You know you're in the right place. You just got to take action. All right, so here's what we're going to do. You're going to send me that email. We're going to wrap up 2020 or what's left of it. We're going to put a little bow on it, say bye-bye. And now we're going to turn your eyes to 2021 to be your best year yet. Keep the momentum. Let's go. Keep the momentum.